Good morning students, welcome back. We are going to start with Arrival of Europeans in India second part. Yesterday we have learned that India was considered the golden bird of wealth, how the Arab traders came to the country because of the demand of various Indian commodities like silk, muslin, cotton cloth, etc. We learnt about Christopher Columbus and Vasco da Gama, who were great explorers, one of whom discovered America and the other discovered the sea route to India. Then we also learnt about how the Portuguese ruled India, and then later on how the rule of Portuguese came to an end. Today in this session we are going to start with the Dutch people. The Dutch of Holland came to India for trading by the end of 16th century. Initially they established forts at Pulicat and Madras and also established a trading center at Agra in 1663. But as the British arrived, the Dutch were unable to withstand the competition. British interest in India. The East India Company, established during the reign of Queen Elizabeth of England in 1600 CE, was a company belonging to merchants who wanted to trade with India and increase their wealth. The first British ship with Captain W. Hawkins arrived in India at the port of Surat in 1608 CE. He met Jahangir but was unable to seek permission to trade, which was later acquired by Sir Thomas Roe. Later, Delhi went in the hands of Shah Jahan, who gave permission to the British to carry out trade in Bengal. Now let's move on to the French. The French East India Company was established in 1664 CE. They established factories in Surat, Machilipatnam and Puducherry. The head, Joseph Francois Dupleix, had the desire to expand European rule in India. The French and British stood in competition against each other and to become the strongest. They had innumerable disputes and battles. Finally, the British emerged as winners, but still the French were able to retain control over trading centers of Puducherry, Mahe and Chandranagar. Now we move on to British trade in Bengal. In 1651 CE, British started trade and established forts on the banks of river Hooghly. The forts had troops to protect factory, and they also got permission from Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb to trade without paying taxes against an annual payment. But, however, the permission was manipulated by the British, and many officers engaged in private trade also did not pay any tax. As a result, income generated from tax collection in Bengal reduced. The Nawab of Bengal opposed it, and the dispute kept on going till Siraj-ud-Dowlah took charge and involved into a major battle with the British. Here we are talking about the Battle of Plassey. Siraj-ud-Dowlah became Nawab of Bengal in the year 1756. As he was in conflict with the British regarding payment of taxes, the British wanted a puppet ruler to replace him. This angered Siraj-ud-Dowlah, and he ordered the company to stop interfering in his government's affairs. He also ordered the company to stop fortifying their settlements and pay their taxes, failing which he opted for war. The British attacked under the leadership of Robert Clive. The main reason for Siraj-ud-Dowlah's defeat was Mir Jafar, one of his commanders, who turned traitor and never fought the battle. Robert Clive had promised Mir Jafar that he would be made Nawab after Siraj-ud-Dowlah for his services. The Battle of Plassey was the company's first victory on Indian soil, and therefore it is considered to be a turning point in the history of India. The next battle that we are going to learn in this chapter is the Battle of Buxar. As promised by Robert Clive, after the Battle of Plassey, Mir Jafar was made the Nawab of Bengal. As time passed, Mir Jafar also started opposing the British, due to which the company decided to replace him with Mir Qasim, his son-in-law. Mir Qasim was an efficient, disciplined and clever ruler. Due to non-payment of taxes, they came face to face with each other and the Battle of Buxar took place. Battle of Buxar was fought between the East India Company and the combined forces of the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan II, Mir Qasim the Nawab of Bengal and Shuja-ud-Dawla the Nawab of Awadh. The battle took place in 1764 at Buxar, which was within the territories of Bengal. The combined army lost the battle. The victory at Buxar allowed the British to extend their domination up to Allahabad. So here we come to the end of this chapter. We are sending you objective questions, that is fill in the blanks, true and false, and 1 or 2 word answers. Today a worksheet is being sent to you. Question answers, long question answers will be sent to you in the next session. Till then, stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.